Welcome to the Rob and Kale podcast. Rob Sanders.
Clemson is going to kick the shit out of the South Carolina Gamecocks probably for the next 10 years every time they run across each other.
Kale Carolina Jackpot Hall.
The South Carolina Gamecocks are weaker than a plate full of piss.
The Rob and Kale podcast.
Let's go.
And welcome into the Rob and Kale podcast. I'm Rob Sanders. Thanks for joining us this evening. I have a podcast co-host. He's happier than a pig in slop. He is Mr. Carolina Jackpot, Kale Hall. Kale, what's up, buddy?
I'm doing great. Why am I happier than a pig in slop?
Well, because there are lots of things. First of all, I know this may come across as a bad thing, but you don't have to watch this year's South Carolina team play football again.
Have a seat right here.
So there's
Well,
that.
That's refreshing. Yeah, that is a good thing.
That was my own.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep. So that's good. You don't have to watch this sorry team play. And
Mm-hmm.
your other team that you ride nuts gets to go into the playoffs. So you're happier than a pig in slop.
When did I ever start riding Michigan's nuts? I don't really particularly like them. What we got going on right now?
You did right after the hold on a second.
So you called it. You jinxed it. You jinxed the fuck out of it. He absolutely jinxed it, ladies and gentlemen. Talking about that live show last week and how everything went off with a hitch. We had 10 different computers running 10 different ways, 10 different modules, and the audio went off without a hitch.
Now
And
it's
what a
not
great
working
job
with
we
me.
did.
Damn it.
And today we're just doing a simple one-on-one stream here, and we can't do it right.
There we go.
It's like, I don't know. It's like
Hold on
Chinese
just a
arithmetic.
second.
It's like Chinese
'Cause I hit the
arithmetic
button
around
by
here
accident.
sometime.
Hold on just a minute. My goodness.
Well, good Lord, you need to lose
What?
some weight in them damn fingers. Can anybody hear me, actually? I'm just wondering. Over here in the chat, I see Alex, Big Barney Ross, Billy Jones in the house, Roll Tide, he's happy today. A Coop 73. Can you hear me good? Yeah, he's going to try to get on my ass about that video I made earlier. And look, and he's crying and whining about Florida State too, just like the rest of them. Look, I didn't write the fucking rules, okay? Go look at the damn playoff committee's number 4 criteria. It talks about injured players and coaches. I mean, they didn't just rewrite that yesterday. They had a reason for putting that in there for situations like this. I mean, they haven't had this situation come up so far since they've been doing the playoffs, so 10 years now. But it's come up. I mean, I ain't happy about it for them either more than anything. Is there a part of me that kind of, cracks a little bit of a smile that Jaheim Bell, who shit on South Carolina last year, out there selling this damn NIL merchandise the day that he transfers to Florida State, taking money from our fans and our fan base to pad his pockets, doesn't get a shot at the playoffs? Yeah, I crack a little bit of a smile about it. But at the same time, I feel bad for the kid that broke his leg, that ain't going to get to see it through. It's not right. It's bad luck. It's bad luck is what it is. Well, my team's had 100 years of bad luck. They made the playoff. They made, had an undefeated season, conference champions. They're going to New Year's Six Bowl. If they can beat Georgia, well, then they'll prove, we're pissed off and we really did belong there. If not, then I think you know where that stands. Unfortunately, this is why they needed a 12-team playoff, and they just got to the party a year too early. Randall, with an interesting point, he says the committee did FSU a favor. You could look at it that way, yeah, because they were going to get smacked around and embarrassed. Going to get slapped around and embarrassed. That's a very interesting point. I mean, I can sit there, too, and make the argument that Georgia got screwed. I can sit there and make the argument that Georgia would have actually been in over Florida State as well.
Yeah. Anyway, so I unplugged my microphone by accident, and I had to reset my stuff. So,
that's just you're not supposed to do that, Rob.
I know that. I'm working to be better, Jackpot. I really am. Look,
I know. I told the crew over here that you jinxed yourself. the other day when you were bragging about that live show and how it went off without a hitch. I said, no, we're
It
just
did.
doing a simple one-on-one stream, and we can't do it right.
Yeah, well, I'm working to get better. By the way, Tom Bailey was going to come in here, but apparently he turned off his microphone and he just left. We want to get your reactions to the college football playoff. I've got my own.
Uh-huh. Now who you talking to? What is he doing now, people? What in the damn shit we got going on here? Brian says, Jackpot, what do you think about tomorrow? What about tomorrow? Is that what you're saying? I don't know. Have I been drinking? I had a couple beers earlier. Not much. Tomorrow, I think you're going to see some Gamecocks under the transfer portal. I don't know if anybody saw it on Twitter. It was announced earlier. Tonka Hemingway is coming back for another season next year. He was one that was widely rumored to be heading to LSU with the transfer portal. So, I mean, that's good work there. I mean, they did some work on him and got him to come back. He's a solid player. Jackpot, what do you think about Adams picking Clemson? Adam who? Adam Apple? Adam's Apple? I don't know. What are you talking about? So, I'm just trying to read some comments here. Yeah, there's going to be some players in the transfer portal. That's probably not going to be. I mean, I don't know how bad. I've seen a lot of rumors about a lot of people, but Tonka Hemingway was one of the ones rumored to be getting out of there. O'Donnell Fortune, I've seen, is another one that's likely headed to Florida. I mean, I don't know why anybody would want to jump on that sinking ship right now, but Amari Adams, top-rated South Carolina recruit in class. Oh, well, I mean, obviously, I mean, Clemson's going to land all them good recruits, ain't they? I mean, they're all in. That's what do I think Ray is leaving? Ray Tanner? So I wish.
All right, so while I figure out this stuff here, I'll just go for my phone for a second here.
Okay.
There you go. Anyway, it's been an eventful 24 hours in college football, but we could sit here and talk about how Florida State got screwed. I'm in the camp, though, of, I mean, and I know that this sounds like I'm being an ass about it, but if Florida State played this Alabama team 20 times, they'd win 19 of them. Excuse me, Alabama would win 19 of those games.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the 20th. So I don't really have an issue with that. Is it fair? No. Is there some folks that were tickle and taint down there at the SEC offices in Birmingham? Yeah, I think so. I mean, and Sankey made comments last night about, the playoff without one of the SEC teams in it is unfathomable. Well, the reason that it's unfathomable is because Sankey is a pimp. I mentioned this to you earlier.
A pimp?
He's an absolute pimp. You have to play in his conference to be able to play for a national title. A perfect example that I'm going to give you. The Pac-12, they have their champion in there. The Washington Huskies had a great season, undefeated. Guess what? They're leaving that conference. It's going to be gone. He is single-handedly, with the actions of, and not necessarily his actions, but a lot of other things too, has made it where if you're not in the SEC, he's got this thing out there that it's like, hey, you don't deserve to play for a national title. So, I mean, you can sit here and say, look, Florida State did what they were supposed to do. Do they look like a playoff team? No, they really don't. But you know what? Alabama shouldn't have lost at home by double digits to Texas. National championship teams don't do that. And what you were saying earlier about the Georgia Bulldogs, I wouldn't have had any issue with putting them in there. 1 3-point loss on the season. They've won 30 straight. Give them an opportunity to defend that national title. Alabama doesn't belong there. They're going to go there, and they have the resume to be there, and they're a great team. But championship teams don't get mouth pumped by Texas in September. in their own place.
Yeah.
So there's that. But that's how that stuff works, Jackpot. And I don't know what how to fix it, but if you're one of these people that thinks the transfer portal and NIL and all that are a problem in college football, you can blame the SEC for it. Yeah, a lot of it has to do with them. So when you have a team that is like, I don't know, a Mizzou, a South Carolina or whatever, you got all these guys coming or going. A lot of it's got to do with the NIL and the transfer pool and all that. The SEC jumped on it, and they made sure that they were able to get sustainable deals that could work out for the NIL and all of that. And in my opinion, a lot of what we liked as college football when we were younger is kind of gone. Got pro teams now, but that's another thing. So what did you think, Jackpot? Do you like the matchups at all?
Yeah, I think there's some solid matchups. I think the committee I think they got it right. I think I mean, like I said, there's a way you could almost make an argument to get Georgia in there with Alabama.
All right, can everybody hear me okay?
Whoa,
yeah, you can. You're cutting me off.
Let him finish, sir.
Good evening. Can y'all hear me okay? Having a little.
Yeah. What do you got, Tom?
Go ahead.
All right, y'all. I'm having a hard time.
Oh yeah, well, hi, mommy. That's what you get from the Alabama fan. Here's what his call was going to be. We deserve to be there. We have 17,000 national titles. Nick Saban's the best coach ever. We wanted him fired though if they lost yesterday. Look at what he did to Kirby Smart, who was like his own son. Kirby Smart should think of Nick Saban as dad. That's what he should think of. He's lucky we didn't roll him out by 78 points yesterday. That's because Nick Saban is a Christian and cares about the people.
You're just putting words in that young man's mouth.
What else are we going to say? Alabama deserves to be there. Florida State had no opportunity to be there.
Sounds like you got some kind of beef with Alabama there. Alabama.
Let's bring him back. He'll say something like that. All right, here you go, Tom. Let's try again. Let's see if we can add Tom again.
Oh,
Tom, what you got,
Hey,
Tom?
Good evening, guys. Just real happy with the SEC championship game results. Real happy with the playoff committee. I do feel for the Florida State fans. I can understand their frustration.
No, you don't.
What now?
No, you don't.
I
Go
don't.
ahead. You don't give two fucks about Florida State. Stop it.
No, I do. I can understand their frustration. I mean, I don't want to come on
What
here.
is their frustration that Alabama's been to the playoff with one loss and didn't even win their goddamn division. You don't know their frustration.
He's just saying he understands how they could be frustrated, sir. He's not saying that he's ever felt that frustration before.
He's never had to deal with that at Alabama because the SEC's got a big money bag. They're going to make sure he gets in there.
Last year, you
didn't deserve to be there last year.
Yeah, okay, and TCU did. Okay, whatever. Dime store Danny Cannell. That's all you are, Rob. Dime store Danny Cannell. That's all you are. Dime store Danny Cannell.
Game, sir. TCU won a playoff game.
What about?
So they won a playoff game.
Yeah, they did against Michigan, but I mean, you see how that championship game turned out.
Well, that's because Georgia was a generational team. They were gonna mouth pump somebody. What do you want?
Yeah, and we beat that generational team yesterday. So
it's not the same team. Stop it. It's not the same team that it was last year. You'd have played that generational defense yesterday, you would have lost by 2 touchdowns. Stop it.
Okay, man. But anyhow, I guess we're gonna have to listen to Dabo give that lame speech when he goes into the Gator Bowl, talking about they're just a little old Clemson and the Tater man don't want to be there,
Sir, but to be fair, any speech Dabo gives is lame. So
yeah,
you gotta kind of. I mean, that's a general statement, but I get you.
Yeah, I mean he is.
I would pivot to Dabo.
When Dabo goes and orders some Hardee's, it's lame.
Sure. There's that. What else do you have for the show, bud? Oh, he left. There you go. The
Okay, let's
TCU
go ahead and be
argument.
done with that.
The TCU argument is ridiculous. They won a game. Thank you, Biscuit. It's not that hard to comprehend there. They won a game.
No,
People don't like to talk about that.
I've been in comment sections today and watched a good amount of videos. Go ahead and end that with him because he's gonna click back in here right in the middle of while I'm talking.
All right.
Sorry, I
There
don't
you
mean to
go.
be
I got
rude. But look, I saw, I watched several videos today, all kind of different points of view on this thing. Dog, the Georgia Tech YouTuber, was crying. I mean, he needed a diaper earlier today, crying for Florida State, how this is unfair. Look, just refer back to the rules. The playoff committee, they got it laid out. They had this. It clearly says right there, if you miss any coach or a player that contributed to the success of the team during the season, that in the absence of them, case closed. It's like back in the day, when I used to watch NASCAR. They wouldn't have let Jeff Gordon run the big race at Watkins Glen using a '79 Pinto. That's essentially what you'd be doing for Florida State, trotting that third string quarterback out there in a playoff game, is running a NASCAR race with a '79 Pinto. And that just won't work.
I agree with you on that. Look,
Just won't work.
The other side of it too is that unlike a lot of you SEC homers, the way I feel about this is that I'm actually happy that Alabama made the playoff. And you want to know why? Because I got to watch Mike Norvell sit there and scream and cry and everything else. And I'm in the camp of Clemson has to play Florida State every year. And what's bad for Florida State is good for Clemson. I don't think like you SEC apologists of, well, we play Alabama, so we're 7-5, but we lost Alabama by 40, but they're the same as us when they go to the playoffs. I don't.
Well,
feel
I did see a good comment from a Clemson fan on my video earlier, and he said, "Screw FS who." So most of them are sitting there to their defense, but there are still some dieharders like that and like me. I mean, that's my rival. I mean, if this happened to Tennessee, I wouldn't be sitting here pandering, crying a river for Tennessee to get into playoffs. Shit.
Billy, welcome to the program.
Hey guys, how we doing?
Hi, Mommy. Hey, Billy, how are you?
Say hey to your boy.
Yeah, how are you, buddy? Doing all right?
Yep.
Good. What you got for the show?
Well, I'm just throwing out a question. Which conferences was against the 12-team playoff to begin with and balked on it and delayed it? ACC commissioner and some ACC ADs didn't want this 12th team, and they balked on it, and it caused a delay somewhat.
Well, I'm also in the camp of if I'm Florida State and I'm upset as I am, I would be petitioning to get out of the conference as quickly as possible. And I would be trying to join the SEC because in reality, it looks like the only way that you can get into the playoffs is to be an SEC team. That's pretty much it.
Here's the thing, Rob.
No.
When was an undefeated Clemson ever left out of the playoffs?
Look, I'm not saying the Florida State needs to be there.
Not nary a time. Now think back. Not nary a time. Now think back to 2016. If Deshaun Watson had broke his leg against South Carolina, or no, let's say 3 games earlier now against Georgia Tech or whatever the fuck, and they said, well, Tucker Israel is going to have to play in the playoffs against Oklahoma. Do you think that things would have changed and they may have inserted X team here? Probably so.
Well, once again, what's bad for the Florida State fan is good for me. So I'm fine with them being there. I'm just saying, if I were a Florida State fan, I would be telling them, hey, we need to get out of this fucking conference right now. So
Well, that's a true statement, but we need to back up. You was talking about blaming stuff, and
Oh yeah, yeah. We can blame
the
judges.
ACC commissioner and the ADs from ACC schools has this to blame on themselves.
You think so?
Sure, because they balked and voted against the 12-team playoff that took forever to get approved.
Well, a lot of that was revenue stuff too, though. I mean, let's be
Well,
honest. It's not an
that's
issue
true.
with that.
But
If we're going to tell the whole story here,
well, they balked on it, and it money is the root of all evil. But I think the committee got it right. I feel bad for FSU. I think if
Right.
Jordan Travis had been there, this is a no-brainer. A no-brainer. And that's the point. And people are going to bring up, well, Ohio State, which was an anomaly 10 years ago, blah, blah, blah. But let's be real. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, you can.
It's the
they
line.
Also, that playoff committee also had a set of eyeballs, and I believe that they seen Cardell Jones or whatever his damn name was for Ohio State playing versus. I mean, the third string kid for Florida State last night couldn't even hardly complete the forward pass.
yeah,
I mean,
he's
against a terrible team. So
well, I'm in the camp of Alabama is a much better team than they are. I just don't think that I don't think that championship teams should lose by double digits at home. I that's just the way that I feel. I think that Georgia has a better resume, in my opinion, than Alabama does, but they lost to Alabama. So
Exactly.
you lose the head-to-head, that kicks you in the
Exactly.
face. So Georgia shouldn't have lost the game to Alabama, but it wouldn't have bothered me if they put Georgia into the mix too.
Oh, that would have been bad.
Why would that have been bad?
Well, one SEC team's bad enough, people crying about it, but
they could have been put into the mix over Alabama. Alabama has one 10-point loss on the season at home.
All right.
You don't think that looks shitty?
Well, who did they lose to? They lost to Texas, and we'll probably get to see a rematch.
Well,
but
I'm just saying, if you're going to put an SEC team in there, Georgia has just the same amount of resume that Alabama does. Alabama won a head-to-head on a neutral site.
Except for the head-to-head competition, and they lost the championship game. So that's that. But I feel bad for FSU and those kids and stuff.
I don't.
Well, these are kids out
there.
First
of all, we have to get. Wait, no, they're not. No, they're not. They're 20-something-year-old. They're grown-ass men. They can commit to go to war and get themselves
people.
shot.
They're standing on business.
Yeah, they're standing on business. They've got $1 million deals. I don't feel sorry for them one bit. In fact, I laugh at Norvell. I hope he goes to bed tonight and thinks, oh, man, I had a shot to win the national title, and Alabama kicked me in the face and I lost it. That makes me laugh so hard in my soul. I mean, it makes me really, really happy because, once again, what's bad for the Florida State fan is good for me. As a
that's terrible. That's terrible. Did you see the Kirby Smart and Mike Norvell conference call together?
No.
What did they do? Jerk each other off about who's going to a New Year's Six bowl?
Basically, they were class acts. It's on YouTube.
Norvell said today he was disgusted. What are you disgusted with, sir?
Well, what else could he have said? He couldn't have said they got it right.
Upset.
He couldn't have said they got it right. I mean,
twist your tampon and try to win again.
I understand he's upset. I mean, he's went through a lot. The team went through a lot of adversity. I get it.
Yeah. And again, if Jordan Travis had been there and they got left out, that would be bad. Because he was a candidate and he was carrying them pretty much. I mean, he was a dual threat. And, he's a significant loss. So
on that note, Rob, our buddy Brad Crawford over at 24/7 Sports, he's affiliated with South Carolina in some way.
He does like beat writing stuff for them. He's got like 4 or 5 teams or something he works with.
Well, I mean, he kind of makes us look a little bit bad because he's over there crying on Twitter tonight, or X, whatever you want to call it. And he put up a clip of when George Travis got injured and stated something about a North Alabama player with a dirty tackle at midfield cost him a shot in the playoffs. But you go back and look at it, it's not a dirty tackle.
No, it wasn't.
Clearly isn't. So that just, I mean,
if you can't hit the body in the head, what else is left except the leg?
What are you supposed to do to tackle him? I mean, what's the clean way of doing that? I mean, I don't. So
I mean,
I just like that kind of makes us look stupid.
I don't know how you coach tackling nowadays. I mean, if you took your kid out in the yard, where are you going to tell him you can't tackle? Well, you can't go for the head and shoulders. And
that's true.
If you launch your helmet at the midsection, you're going to get kicked out. So what's left? The legs.
Yeah, I don't. I'm with you. I don't know.
I don't know. But
all right, Billy, I'm going to welcome in a Florida State fan. What else you got for the show, buddy?
I'm gone. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you, Billy.
Bye-bye.
All right, let's go with Ray. What's up, Ray? How are you, man?
Hey, guys. How y'all doing?
How are you, sir?
First of all, I have came on this show several times, and I've been nothing but respectful to both of you guys.
Of course.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm not going to be disrespectful to either one of you guys because that's just not who I am. Okay.
We're not going to be disrespectful to you.
Okay. Well, here's the deal. First of all, I don't think it had anything to do with the injury. That's why they got left out. The narrative got started before he got his leg broke. They were already talking about putting a potential Alabama or Texas team in over Florida State before he got his leg broke. Correct?
Are you
upset? Agree with that?
I didn't, and maybe you are more sensitive to that narrative, but are you upset with Georgia for not getting the job done? Because if Georgia wins yesterday, I think you're in.
That was my whole point. If Georgia wins, we're in.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I believe if Georgia wins, Alabama's not in, and it's 3 undefeateds in Texas.
So
that's just what I believe.
We're going to blame Kirby Smart. That's fine.
No, I'm not blaming anyone. But my whole point is this: do wins and losses matter, or they don't matter?
Apparently they don't.
Obviously. So here's the deal. So say you've got a game scheduled. Okay, your best player gets hurt. Are they still going to play the game, or are they still not going to play the game? You see what I'm saying? You're going to play the game regardless. You play with who you have. If you win the game, you win the game.
Do you think, and I'm just going to be, we've been respectful to each other all year here, but do you think that you're within 10 points of that Alabama team if you've matched up on a neutral site with your third string quarterback?
Absolutely not.
Then why do you want to spot in the playoffs?
But in the past, it has never been that way. It was what your record was. That's what got you in there. If it matters who gets off the bus and who looks like they're better than the other one without playing the game, why play the fucking game, man? Why do you play the game?
Nobody. All right, go ahead.
Oh no, I think you were going the same place. Go ahead, buddy. I got you.
Go ahead. I don't. Never mind. I thought of something else.
Well, no,
that's my point. How can you definitively say that? Opinions are opinions.
Sure.
Everybody has them. I agree with that. Now, a healthy Florida State with Jordan Travis, I believe we had just as good a shot as anybody. I mean, you can't say it. Listen, did you know, as terrible as the offense played, with a true freshman, third-string quarterback, we still got more fucking yards than Michigan did against Iowa? Do you realize that? Michigan has won all their games, but they haven't looked super impressive.
Iowa had what's Iowa's defense ranked?
I have no idea.
They're in the top 10.
Right.
I mean, they play good. They play great defense.
But my
They just
point is,
don't
are
play
you
offense.
basing it just on pure numbers? If that's what you're basing it on, okay. We looked terrible. Our offense was putrid. It was terrible. The guy was a true freshman. He's been hurt all year long. He didn't even get to even practice for I can't tell you how long, but it doesn't matter. That's the cards you're dealt. And we still won the game. You're a 13-0 conference champion. Okay? It is what it is. My problem is, how do you put another conference champion in with one loss over?
I don't know, but did you think about this too? Another team you can kind of blame Louisville a little bit too for losing to Kentucky.
Absolutely, I agree
because
with that.
If you had beaten them, and if they'd had to beat Kentucky and they were a one-loss team coming in there, or Pitt or whoever that they lost to, y'all's win looks a little bit more impressive. Maybe that would have swayed it in your favor.
That, we're on the same page. They shit the bed against Kentucky, absolutely. Now, I will tell you this. Had our backup, not the third string, played, we probably would have won 30-something to 6. We would have scored a hell of a lot more points. Because let's just face the fact, if I'm Louisville, Louisville should be ashamed, is all I could say. Now, our defense made them look stupid.
Yeah,
Louisville's offense looks stupid.
Yeah, they're not.
You can make an argument if you look at the final set of rankings here. Florida State had a win over, I think LSU finishes a ranked opponent, and Louisville's a ranked opponent, obviously, and Clemson. So they had 3 top 25 wins.
Right.
If we look at Alabama, and I don't like to we can look at it now and be, okay, this is how the season ended. If we look at Alabama's schedule, from what I'm seeing here, they played a Texas team. They lost that game. Ole Miss, I think, is still ranked. Tennessee is number 24 or 25 in the latest poll. Mm-hmm. So they're ranked. LSU is ranked. That's 3 wins. And then they beat the number 1 team in the country at the time, Georgia. So they have more wins over ranked.
Well, let me ask you this now. If we're talking about what-if scenarios, say that Alabama does not complete 4th and goal from the 31 and lose to Auburn. They've got 2 losses.
But they did, though.
And they still beat Georgia. Do they still go in as a 2-loss SEC team?
No.
No.
You see what I'm saying?
But I understand you're raw today after what happened to your team, but in reality, Alabama did finish the 4th and 31.
They did. They absolutely did. And in reality, we finished 13-0 conference champion. That's reality, Rob. That's reality.
Sure.
Okay. You can't say it's not. That's reality. If you want to talk reality, it's reality.
That. Sure. Yeah, you are. But the committee, which is
that's why there's no other sport except college football that depends on someone else's opinion to decide who is better than not. Every other sport has a fucking playoff, dude. They have a playoff.
Well, that's what we have now.
12. They're going to go to 12 next year, right? That's the game plan, correct?
Yep.
Which that's a step in the right direction. I agree with that. So if they go to 12, is it still going to be the same formula, or is it going to be conference champions plus at large? Or is it going to be, okay, let's just pick the best 12 teams. Let's pick 12 teams that we think are the best teams. It doesn't matter if they've won their conference. It doesn't matter what their record is. Hey, they lost 3 games beginning of the season, but holy shit, they're fucking good now. Why play the regular season? Why play the regular season if it doesn't matter? You see what I'm saying? It is what it is, guys.
I don't think that I don't agree with the way that the committee does their stuff, but in the end, they are the committee. They determine who gets.
I agree with you 100%. So it's a flawed system. It's absolutely flawed.
It is flawed. It is completely flawed. I don't. Alabama lost by double digits at home.
Yeah.
I don't think that's something that there has to be a lot of things that can erase that. maybe beating a Georgia team and ending that long ass streak that they had. Maybe
hey, listen, I absolutely agree with that. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Alabama's not one of the best 4 teams. I'm not going to tell you that. But if you look back over the history of this 14 college playoff, the way things have went down, are we a product of TCU last year? Is that what we're looking as a product of? Are we a product of that?
Could be.
Well, then
that's a fair statement.
Seriously, are we a product? So you're judging us on what a TCU team did the previous year, and each individual year doesn't stand on its own merit. Just asking the question.
Sure, and you have a right to be upset, but on the other hand, things may be different this coming up because the 12-team playoff. We'll see how that works out. I do think that there should be something to limit the amount of teams coming in from a conference. I don't like the whole conference champion gets in regardless. I don't like that. It's like the six top.
Well, let me ask you this question, Rob. Why are we playing having conference records and conference championships if that doesn't mean anything?
Because your conference has to have money, sir. That's how they fund things.
Well, I get that, but I'm saying my whole point is why have it if it doesn't? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter.
Well, why should Alabama schedule Texas in the non-conference instead of Bumblefuck?
Why should we schedule LSU 2 years in a damn row?
Because LSU ended up being the toughest game on your schedule, sir. And when they looked up and down at your schedule, they were like, look, Clemson will be there. But in the end, LSU was your toughest game this season.
Well, let me ask you this. When you make schedules, Al, you could say a team could be a top 5 team when you schedule. These things are scheduled, 5-10 years in advance?
Sometimes.
Right? Okay. All right. So you've got to say we've got LSU scheduled. All right. Sure. By the time we end up playing them, they could be a total damn dumpster fire. They could be garbage by that point. But the schedule's already made. That's my point.
Yes,
the schedule is the schedule.
Right. But in reality, though, when you step back, if you're in the playoff committee and you're looking at them and like, look, they scheduled an SEC West team that wasn't Mississippi State. They tried. Okay, right. They didn't know that they were going to be a shitball.
Well, I think it's in 20.
They didn't do 25 and 26. Duck Army because they were afraid of chop blocks. They didn't do that. So
well, I'd have to go back and look, Rob, but I think it's 25 and 26. We start a schedule we've got a two game schedule with Georgia coming up.
Sure.
Well, you got a 1-game schedule with them coming up here in a couple weeks.
Right, but that's just a bowl game. That's not a scheduled out.
I know. I was just trying to be funny.
And I'll be honest with you, who knows what the hell's going to happen in that game? It's probably going to be a battle of the no fucking bodies because all of our top players is not going to play. Georgia's top players is not going to play.
Yeah.
So
and by 2026, y'all could be Willie Taggart level again.
We could. We could almost be as bad as South Carolina, but I don't fucking think so.
No, there's no way it'd be that bad.
Nobody can aspire to that high.
I'm just kidding, Jack, but I feel your pain, brother.
As always, I appreciate you calling. And by the way, if you've watched the show for a little bit, I've said for almost 2 years now, the bowl games don't matter.
Not anymore, they don't.
Not any matter. And people will start to realize, you know what? When people were up there, man, Rob spoke stupid. Not really. Not really.
Well,
anyway, thanks, Ray. Sorry your team.
Guys, you have a great day.
Thank you, Ray.
Before we go to Rob Has an SEC Bias, we need to thank our sponsors and announce the winner of the Callaway's Pick'em Challenge. The winner of the Callaway's
me?
Challenge. No. You got FSU. You got left out.
Damn it.
Anyway, damn it. With 99 correct picks out of 166, Ray Bob is our Callaway's regular season champion. Congratulations to Ray Bob. Everything is up on robandkaleshow.com. I will share it to the Facebook page here in just a little bit. Want to thank Callaway's for sponsoring that. They are kept sponsoring, I just found out, our Bowl Pick'em Challenge, which we'll get you the info on that. That's
yes,
the
Ray Bob. I'll get your funds to you probably tomorrow. Sorry.
There you go.
A little bit of a delay there with the accounting, but we'll definitely get you your funds out.
Yeah, we'll make sure you're taken care of. The Bowl Pick'em Challenge, we'll have all of the bowl season up, the early lines. We'll put all those out there, and you can do basically the same thing. So we'll
this time is just a one-time shot, guys. I mean, you're just picking up all against the spread, every one of them.
Yep.
We don't do week by week by week. We'll start with the whatever the in chronological order and go forward with them.
Yeah. So we'll let you know how that comes about. But Callaway's has agreed to sponsor that. We appreciate them. Highway 1 diagonal from the Walmart in West Columbia. Go by and you can check out all the bowl games there, NFL games, all of that at Callaway's. We also have Dennis Wilson, D&C Trucking and Transport, fireside chats with Uncle Jackpot. Jackpot, tell us a story, sir.
Okie dokie. Let's see here. Sucks to be a Gamecock. Clemson has beaten South Carolina in football 8 of the last 10. Ooh. 13 of the last 20. Ooh. 20 of the last 30. 26 of the last 40. And 33 of the last 50. Ugh. Clemson owns this state, and our coach needs a shiwi. That's fact. It sucks to be a Gamecock, even on nickel night at the whorehouse. Go Tigers.
That message courtesy of Dennis Wilson, D&C Trucking and Transport. Appreciate Dennis taking care of the show. Yeah, Shane Beamer needs a shiwi. Welcome to the program. Mr. Rob has an SEC bias.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
Well, let me just start off this call in with just go ahead and get it out in the open. Florida State didn't deserve it. The committee got it right. Okay. Nobody wants to watch Florida State roll out there and get dick slapped for 4 quarters. Nobody in America wants to watch that.
To be honest, no one wants to watch Michigan get dick slapped. Michigan's never won a playoff game. Why the hell do we have to watch them? We're talking about what people actually want to watch. I
think Michigan will do good in the playoffs, Rob.
We're doing everything as far as what I want. I want Clemson's first string playing the second string, followed by a matchup of the third string playing the fourth string.
So
I want Dabo.
It's not about record and what you want. It's about the best 4 teams, Rob, and Florida State isn't it. They're down to a freshman fucking quarterback, Rob.
Have a Dabo Sweeney baptism at the half where he can
like 50 yards.
What is he talking about?
I don't know.
What? I don't know. Have you just lapsed into some other world or something?
I'm just saying,
what Rob wants.
But it's not about what you. It's not about what you want. That's the whole point.
That's about the best 4 teams. That's why they got it right.
All I'm saying is that if we're going on what may happen, Michigan has never won a playoff game.
Michigan dog walked Ohio State damn near.
TCU has more playoff wins than Michigan does, and you guys want to shit on TCU all the time.
Do you think Michigan is going to perform worse than Florida State would have?
I don't know because I've never seen them in a playoff. They may go in there and get dick slapped.
Florida State wasn't Florida State in the first playoffs?
Well, we'd never seen Clemson in a playoff before 2015, but they went in there and they about ran that sumbitch.
Yeah, wasn't Florida State? Am I mistaken, or didn't Florida State make the first playoff and get dick slapped?
They did.
They won the first playoff.
No, they won the last BCS title, I think.
Yeah,
sure.
But here's a little history for the Florida State man, because I know they're feeling a little salty. I'll take you back to the golden year of 2017, and let's examine the UCF Knights, who find themselves in a very similar predicament. Okay, Florida State, 3 ranked wins. UCF, 3 ranked wins. Both teams got dropped for Alabama, and back in 2017, Rob will remember. Alabama actually went on to dog walk Clemson and en route to a national championship.
Yeah,
sure.
So I think, they got it right then. I think they got it right now. Last year, TCU shouldn't have been anywhere near the fucking playoffs. Okay,
They have more playoff wins than Michigan does. But go ahead.
That don't mean anything to me, dude. Michigan's probably gonna win the whole damn thing.
So you think that Michigan is going to beat all three of those teams? Pick your poison there. You think that's going to happen?
Yeah. Well, they only got to play 2, but yeah, they were my pick. If you go back preseason,
Robin, what are you talking about?
I don't know.
I think he meant like whoever wins the other game.
I'm just saying. I think
Texas tornado match.
If we were re-ranking the top 4, Michigan would be number 4 for me.
Really? Michigan's looked impressive all year long. Why are you saying that?
I don't give a shit.
Well, then so what's your argument for Florida State to get in if you're saying Michigan would be 4?
I'm just saying, look, Michigan won their conference title, and they've done well enough that they should be in the playoff.
I agree.
Okay. But on the other hand, it's sort of like Tennessee going down to Florida and winning there. Until I see it, I just can't believe it.
So, but you would have if you've got Michigan at 4 and you're upset Florida State didn't make it, you would have Florida State above Michigan.
You're not listening to any of the show here. I think that what happened to Florida State is bad, but Alabama's a better team than they are. Alabama's 17 points better than they are. So I don't have any issue with that. I don't think Alabama should have all this mystique, though, being they lost by double digits to Texas at home.
Well, Texas is in the playoffs, too. It's not like they lost to,
But when you lose by double digits,
I've got one in the comment section right now, Chris. Michigan's going to get their ass handed to them. I mean, based on what?
I've only been impressed.
What weakness have you seen from them? I mean, they've steamrolled.
Well, how about
they played this year? I mean,
how about this? And just a little conspiracy theory type thing here. Jim Harbaugh has been outed as a cheater. People don't like Jim Harbaugh. He is a fucking weirdo. Also, any inkling of anything that any coach has, they are going to ship it to whoever Michigan is playing and making sure they've got the absolute best intel on Michigan, because there's a lot of coaches that don't like what happened to them. So maybe there's some of that too. They also play in the Big Ten where they don't have the speed that comes from the South. I'm sorry, that's just the way that it is. And when you get to the nut cutting time, Big Ten teams look like MAC teams. So there you go.
Ohio State almost beat Georgia last year.
Yeah.
I mean, they were within a shitty field goal attempt of beating Georgia.
But they didn't win, though.
Well,
I mean, they were in the mix, as you.
They were a cunt hair away, Rob. A cunt hair away.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's not like they got blown out.
But
they didn't win, though.
And I think the matchup versus Alabama and Michigan is favorable, to be honest. The Alabama was successful last night rather, because they dominated the lines of scrimmage. Michigan has the best O-line in the country.
I'd have Texas. I guess I'd have to have Texas at 1. I'd have Texas at 1, Alabama at 2, Washington at 3, Michigan at 4. That's what I would do. So if I had to reseed all of them right now, that's how I would do it.
Did you get did you get a vote, or is it not like BCS where
I used to vote in the AP top 25, but I don't. Not anymore. I don't have that anymore. But if I were going to vote, that's the way that I would do it. Simply because I don't buy into this whole thing of the Big Ten is so much better than everybody else, and you have to. I just don't agree with that. I really, really don't. So,
well, and I'm surprised who it's just been a good year for the 4-team playoff to finally be over. I'm surprised we haven't had a controversy like this earlier, to be quite honest. How long has the playoffs been a thing? Since 2014?
Chris over in the comment section says Michigan hasn't played anyone except for Ohio State. Okay, I guess that win on the road at Penn State.
Penn State, yeah. Wasn't Penn State like top 8?
I guess that was worthless though.
So hold on, let's see what we got here.
Just a pedestrian game.
Hold on, I'm checking out Michigan's schedule here. Let's see here. They didn't didn't play a team with a winning record until. Did Rutgers finish better than 6-6, Jackpot? I can't remember.
I thought they were 6-6.
Yeah, well, with a winning record until the end of October when they played Penn State. So he has a valid point there. I get Penn State's a good win, winning there. Other than that, I mean, you get the win over Ohio State. So that's two really good wins. I guess they're top 10 teams. And then Iowa's a team that only plays football on one side of the ball. They're the
I would say they probably have a better schedule than Alabama, just looking on paper. If we're,
I don't think so, because Alabama at least stepped out of conference to play Texas.
Yeah.
So I mean, if we're being honest here,
Alabama has wins over LSU, Ole Miss,
Ole Miss, and then Georgia.
Georgia.
That's the big one. See that?
And they and then of course they played Texas too. So
yeah.
Has Alabama really looked? Because I haven't watched them really much this year. Have they looked like actually dominant in any game they've played?
Yeah.
Has it just been like shithouse win after shithouse?
They went on the road against Kentucky. They dominated them. Mississippi.
They looked good yesterday.
Mississippi State, of course. That's whatever. Vanderbilt of the West. Then the games against the lower level teams, I guess.
Yeah.
Good yesterday.
I mean, they kind of pushed Ole Miss around a little bit, dominated them a little bit. They were pretty ineffective against them, and that was like supposed to be Ole Miss's coming out party. Lane Kiffin, that was his chance to take them down, because that was after that crappy performance against South Florida. And
that was the game Milroe came back, right?
Yeah, they kind of bitch slapped them a little bit.
That South Florida game was tight, wasn't it? Didn't they almost lose that thing?
Yeah, but it was like 17-3, but I think it was tied at the start of the fourth quarter or something. I'm not sure. But hey, South Florida made a bowl, so.
Yeah. Have y'all looked at any of the bowl matchups yet?
I've got them right in front of me. We were going to do that next.
Was Josh Heupel the coach at UCF when they won the national championship, or was that Scott Frost still?
I think it was Scott Frost.
But, shit. I forget who it was that just got hired. I forget what school it was, but there's a coach. Do you remember that old XFL interview where it's like, is this the XFL? He said, "Can I walk? Is this the XFL? Then let's play some football." I can't remember that dude's name. He just got hired to be a head coach at some Power 5 school, and it's like the most legendary football interview you've ever seen. Rob, if you can pull it up and play it, it's the coolest fucking interview you've ever heard.
Anyway, we were going to look at some of these bowl matchups, but yeah, there are some interesting ones.
Yeah, I was looking at I like that Tennessee matchup. I think that's probably going to be the best defense outside of Georgia they played, so that one can go either way. The Peach Bowl looked nice. How the hell did Liberty make a New Year's Six bowl? Is what I was wondering.
They were the highest ranked Group of 5 team.
That Fiesta Bowl. If I'm Oregon, I'm pissed off. I got to play fucking Liberty, man.
Liberty can throw a turd in the Punch Bowl.
Jackpot. We should take a field trip and go to the Myrtle Beach Bowl and watch Ohio Bobcats, possible Bobcats, play Georgia Southern.
No, we shouldn't.
That'll be a good one.
Actually, that's exactly right. No, we shouldn't on Saturday, December the 16th. No, we shouldn't.
I think I'm going to chew my fingernails off that day.
How about the Celebration Bowl? We can watch the Florida A&M Rattlers play the Howard Bison.
Yeah, no thanks.
Hey, well, if anybody wants to go see Troy versus Duke in Birmingham, just DM Rob has a SEC bias. I'll hook you up with some tickets.
You really bought tickets for that?
Man, I thought we were going. They were cheap.
What are they, $2?
Yeah, pretty much.
How much did you pay for tickets?
Actually, they paid me. Is what it was. I got the tickets and a free vouchers to like a local biscuit place in Birmingham. So
Wait a minute.
Was it like Biscuitville or something?
Yeah.
Or was it the biscuit from the comment section?
Oh my God! Yeah, did Biscuit from the comment section send you tickets out of pity?
Hey man, if y'all seen the state of that stadium, man, they are not taking admissions anymore for the Birmingham Bowl. That place is falling apart.
No, don't they play it in? They play it in UAB Stadium now, right?
I don't know.
I thought they played.
They
There
don't
was
do
some
it at
standalone
have it at
stadium.
Legion. Well, if you got tickets to the damn game, they should tell you what the fucking
Shit,
stadium is out on there.
I didn't look,
Otherwise,
man.
not show up
Hey,
for
as
all
soon
plays.
as listen, I was sitting there by my computer waiting for it to hit midnight on the day the ticket sales open, so I could be the first one. I wasn't looking at where it was at.
Did you imagine that? This goofball shows up at Legion Field and they're like, "What are you doing here? Here for the Birmingham Bowl." Oh no, that's
down the road,
5 blocks down. Hang a left down there.
Well, Rob, I know you don't have to worry about the Birmingham Bowl.
Nope.
What? I forget who y'all playing. It was Kentucky, right?
Clemson gets Kentucky in the Who Gives a Shit Bowl.
Where's that at? Which one is that?
It used to be a prestigious bowl. It used to be, the Gator Bowl used to be a prestigious bowl. Now it's the Tax Slayer, because you need somebody to slay your fucking taxes for you. The Gator Bowl.
Well, I'll tell you that Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl, that might be a damn good game too. Notre Dame versus the Beeve. You think old Ukulele will come back for that one?
No, he's in the transfer portal. He's out. He's not going to play.
He's in the transfer portal again?
He is. He's in the transfer portal.
He's going to have to sit out a year, right?
No, he's a graduate.
Oh, shit. Where's
Shane
he going to go? Back to
give him
Clemson?
a call. Give him a call. Why not, Shane?
Is he going back to Clemson?
No.
No.
He said he doesn't know. I think the one thing he said something about he's mulling his NFL options, but he's entering the transfer portal, which basically means
entering the transfer portal.
I'm entering the transfer portal because the NFL folks have said hit a few less cheerleaders on the sidelines, sir. And then
I thought he had a decent year, to be fair to him. Granted, he had one of the best running backs in the country.
Yeah.
I mean, that'll make any quarterback look good.
Well, he had the former Deshaun Fenwick, or whatever the hell his name is.
Deshaun
former
Fenwick.
Gamecock is his running back who had to leave South Carolina to be worth a shit.
Dude, I'm telling you, there's a Gamecock everywhere. We represent.
They're all
I mean, we're sharing the love.
Exactly.
Hey, can I share this from Mike Muse from Callaway's, because he sent me this earlier today?
Sure.
And he says, I just realized why Florida State got left out. Only the Gamecocks could go 13-0 and not make the playoffs. Oh, wait, one name. Jaheim Bell brought the chicken curse to FSU. Don't blame the committee.
Serves him right.
Quarterback. Blame Jaheim Bell. Very good.
Now you see why I have zero sympathy for the FSU, man, because there's motherfuckers want to call every single goddamn player we have on scholarship and try and get them down to Tallahassee because they can't recruit their own fucking state.
That's what he gets. He's on there selling his NIL shit online to our people the same day that he announces he's transferring.
Exactly.
What a piece of shit.
Well, the same. Did you see Juice Wells on live? He was talking about how much hell he was getting from the Carolina fans.
Yeah. Duh. I mean,
exactly. You can hear.
He might be. He's really good, but he does not approach me as the sharpest tool in the shed.
No. And have you ever seen someone go from so loved at a place to just immediately hated as much as he does? I can't think of it.
Well, Jaheim Bell.
It's hard.
Well, I think Juice Wells one was worse.
I think Jaheim Bell was kind of disliked anyway.
At least Bell didn't lead us along for fucking weeks thinking that he was going to come back.
Bell's mom was on Twitter bashing the school and everything else.
Yeah. I don't know what happened, but my son was at the Mizzou game last year, and there's all kind of stuff being hurled back and forth, and of course our crowd was salty during that game. I mean, they weren't worth a shit.
You got a fucking right to.
And they were kind of voicing it to him, and something happened there on the sideline, and he turned around and told a bunch of our fans, basically, if you don't fucking like what's going on here, get the fuck out or something to those effect. And like seriously, like it became like a situation, dude. But they had to put him like in the injury tent.
Wow.
To get him away from the fans. So, yeah.
Well, just in my opinion, though, the way Juice left, it's inexcusable. I mean, for what purpose? The dude's gonna get. He was gonna be the focal. You're telling me a wide receiver can't succeed in our offense? I give you Xavier Leggett, top 5 in the country in yards per game. He might have fallen off a little bit, but he missed 3 games due to injury? 2 games?
Yeah, 2. I don't know. Maybe he didn't. I don't know. Maybe he didn't want to hitch his wagon to a true freshman. Well, not a freshman quarterback behind a questionable offensive line. I don't know. Questionable at best.
Yeah, but the thing is, Leggett could perform with the O-line's not going to get worse next year. You know what I mean? The quarterback play might decline, but the offense as a whole is going to be better. We're going to have a better run game. Braswell will have a year under him. We'll have a better O-line. The only thing I can think of is a bag. He was getting recruited by Texas or whatever, talking about how much NIL he's going to get. And the motherfucker ran off in the night like he wasn't already getting $400,000 in a track hawk from the university he was at already.
I know. Yeah.
All right, buddy. I appreciate you as always.
Hey, before I head out, hold up. Give me one sec.
The fuck are you doing?
We're zipping up, baby. Undefeated, coming into Little John. Fear him.
I commented on that today. Little John Coliseum, Death Valley is what I call it, the septic tank of the upstate, and so Little John Coliseum's got to be the sump pump or the broken mobile home toilet of the upstate. But they're looking good too. They won on the road today.
That'll be a great game. I'm looking forward to that. Rob, can I get your take before I head out on what you think happens?
What? I think PJ Hall is going to dominate in the paint and break off another double-double. Chase Hunter will have 20-plus points, and y'all will lose by 10.
All right. Well, I think Mechie Johnson breaks a foot off in PJ's ass and drops 30 on his head.
Who is he? Who is she? I don't know who she is.
Who's PJ?
PJ Hall's the best player in the state.
Like a 6'5" center. That dude's ass.
He's not 6'5". He's 6'9". He
looks like it.
Who?
Y'all take care. Hey, get them jackets zipped up, baby. Let's go. Paris all the way.
All right, let's add Stacy to the mix. Stacy, what's up?
Who?
Nothing, guys. What's going on?
Ooh, what?
Yeah.
What
you got for the show?
Oh, nothing. I was saying, hey guys, what's going on?
Not much.
What do you have for the show this evening?
Well, I'm a long-time watcher and listener, first-time caller. Love both of you guys. Love what you do. Love what you bring to the fans. I'm a long-time Georgia Bulldog fan, have been since 1971. And again, I preface that by saying this. I am not an SEC homer. So I only pull for my team. And I know I'm not the only one who does that. But, I've heard, oh, well, you should pull for, your SEC brothers because, they need to win.
Yeah, I can't stand to hear that crap.
I can't either, Jackpot. I can't either because you know what? No. You are our opponent at one time or another. So why would I pull for you to win it all when my team can? So sorry, but no. But anyway, I haven't caught a lot of your show tonight, so I'm sure you guys have heard it all. I just kind of wanted to give you a really quick rundown where I'm coming from.
Sure.
The committee every year waffles back and forth on their criteria on why they voted this team in and why they voted that team in. They're full of crap. ESPN and Disney write their checks. let's face facts, and I know I'm not the only one with this opinion, but if they can find a way to put Nick Saban in every year, they're going to do it. I don't care what their record is, what their schedule they played. It doesn't matter. If they can get Nick Saban in, they will do it. And I'm sorry. Yeah, I've heard, well, the best teams that should have been in it should have been, Michigan, Washington, FSU, and Texas. And sure. I agree. I'm okay with Georgia not being in it. But some people say, no, Georgia still should have been in it because their only loss came by 3 points to Alabama. Well, that's fine. But FSU went 13-0, and they're getting screwed over to let Bama in, who took a last-minute touchdown to come from behind to beat Bama, Auburn. Grant you, earlier in the season, I know Georgia, won by 7, but it wasn't on the last-minute play. And let's face facts, Auburn beat Auburn. Alabama did not win that game.
But it took them a last-minute touchdown to beat Auburn.
Yes.
But they also beat you guys, who'd won 29 games in a row.
Right.
Hadn't lost in 2 calendar years.
Yes.
So in order for them to get in the playoffs, they had to go through y'all. So that would make me feel good, I guess, as a Georgia fan. It's like it's kind of a backhanded consolation prize.
But what I'm saying is I'm okay that Georgia didn't get in, but at the same time, Alabama shouldn't have gotten in over FSU. And I understand you're going to have some people saying, "Oh, SEC's weak," and blah blah blah. Where they played their schedule just like everyone else played their schedule. Otherwise, why schedule games? I don't understand it. And they said they're keeping them out because, their quarterback got hurt. Well, you could say that Georgia's had half their roster out the whole year and found a way to win, but yet you still have some people saying Georgia still should be up there. I hate it for FSU, and I've heard, and I don't know if you guys have heard it, but I've heard that, they're trying to get the lawmakers involved to get some type of injunction.
Yeah, that's just what we need.
It's written in their criteria.
Yeah. I don't know. This is what I just heard after they, I don't know what.
I heard Tennessee was going to investigate the SEC officiating when they lost to Alabama or something. Something crazy like that. So
it wouldn't. Nothing Tennessee does, surprises me. But no, the latest is, I think the government down in Florida is trying to investigate to see, what's going on, because they feel that there's some tampering going on to get in, an SEC team over an ACC team. Do I think it's going to go anywhere? No, I don't. But that's just what they're reporting on ESPN.
Well, Stacey, thank you for watching the show. We appreciate it, but I don't think that's where the conference or we need to go. But hey, thank you, Stacey. You have a good night.
I'm just saying that's what I heard. Do I agree with that? No. Do I think it's going to go anywhere and solve anything? No. But the last comment I'll say, because I know you guys are busy, Michigan. Who out there doesn't think that in the end, the NCAA, after they take 2 years and drag their feet, are going to find that Harbaugh knew everything that was going on. They're going to vacate the last 3 years of winning, and then they're going to say, well, gee, they shouldn't have been in the college football playoffs. Somebody else should have been in their place. And then that's a whole nother can of worms. But anyway, I don't know.
I think they'll find out South Carolina took the signals too about 2 years too late, and they'll say, oh, okay, well, they took signals. You got to fire Shane Beamer. Oh, well, too bad. We already fired him 2 years ago for having a shitty team.
Yeah, we fired him because we knew back then. We made sure that we cleaned house. That way we don't get in trouble.
I don't know if you saw the little funny moment I just had, but the pug was laying back here on the back of the couch.
Yeah.
She was sleeping, and she rolled off of it, and she fell down on top of Ziggy, who's laying right over there. So he got kind of agitated a little bit, too.
By the way, everyone over there making comments about sandwiches, you guys are all assholes.
What's that?
You see everybody making comments about
KC asked if she knew she could turn her camera off, and I was about to say the same thing. She was holding like a handkerchief or something in front of the lens, so as not to reveal herself. When she could just hit that camera option off on the eye. I can do it over here on the iPhone.
All right, Harry, what do you have for the show, sir?
Well, I'm not going to be the apologist. Bama beat us, and the committee did what the committee does. I'm still a little bit conflicted about all their reasoning, but it is what it is, and you win your games and you go forward, and you lose your games and you go backwards. So enough of that. But
as an SEC bias, for those wondering, yes, I still have burn marks. Thank you, sir.
Oh, I thought you had skid marks.
No, he really burnt the shit out of himself, stunning himself at the damn live show.
Yeah, he did. That was
that was an idiotic move, I thought.
Brother, he shot.
I don't think that reflected the highest level of intelligence.
Then he's like shocking himself. I was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, I was flipping out. I guess he was buzzed pretty bad, huh?
I have to explain that shit to my wife. Like, this is the audience that we draw, honey. Come up here and shoot themselves.
Rob?
Hilarious. But this is the first year, and it's the final year of the 14, that there have been 8 teams without a loss or with but one loss when all the dust cleared. So there's a lot of hurt feelings out there, this, that, and the other. But I think that regional people will agree that at some juncture there must be some kind of metric to apply across the board so that we don't have all of this silliness. And that's what it is to me.
Well, here's the crazy thing, though. The selection committee had their thing today, and they had their uncomfortable 45 minutes on ESPN or whatever, and then it's like, well, tomorrow morning, well, screw it. We got to play the games now. Ta-da! It's kind of where you're at now. So
it does, and I think it does a disservice to the sport. But such is life. What was that? I had something else on my mind, but I've lost it now. So anyway, I'll let y'all go with that. But it'll be interesting to see just how populated the transfer portal becomes tomorrow morning.
Yeah, tomorrow is action day. There's going to be people
starting
tomorrow. Yeah,
it's going to be a flood.
Poor old Jackpot's out there in the damn tater truck tomorrow, and he's going to have to stop every 8 minutes to do a damn. Well, this guy fucked us and left.
We already had one leave. We had one leave tonight.
Yeah.
So.
Really?
Well, yeah, but I mean, as far as the official announcement, start.
Bench warmer.
I know there's. I saw that Juice Wells split, and that's. I don't know that it surprised me so much because of the incoming quarterback, or I don't know about the kid, but there's some Georgia people think he might come to us or want to try to come to us.
If he goes there, he'd sit the bench.
Well, if we bring back the guys that have eligibility left, we're going to be very tough next year.
Yeah, it's not like Georgia's going to fall off the face of the planet either, because they lost by 3 points to Alabama in the SEC championship game. There were some people that were like, "Oh, the Georgia dynasty is over." Yeah, they're not going to win the playoff this year, but they're gonna mouth pump Florida. You got Florida State, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll mouth pump Florida State, finish 13-1, and you start the season with Clemson. You're gonna win that game by double digits, and then the race is on. So,
yeah, Beck and Kirby are meeting tomorrow, him and his parents, to discuss his future plans.
By the way, I'm sorry, go
ahead. And he is not alone, from what I have gathered here tonight. In fact, in the last 2 hours, there's a lot of, I mean, this stuff is all breaking, and it comes in fits and spurts. But I was very interested in seeing who else besides Beck is going to sit down with Kirby tomorrow, and I've not yet got that information, but it's going to be interesting.
All right, Harry, man, appreciate it, buddy. You have a good night. All right.
Y'all too. Bye.
All right, last caller of the evening, Peg and Megan. Welcome to the show.
Hey guys, Rob, real quick, you just looked at your mug there. It looks like you've somehow found a way to look gayer since the last show. So congratulations on that. Jackpot.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Let's evaluate that before we start. The first thing that you come into a college football playoff talk show is about how much I look more like a gay man. What does that say about you, sir? That's the first thing that you go after. My appearance as a gay man. Look, I think you're an absolutely great guy.
You're a gay
but
man?
I do not date you, sir. You are not my type. You are much too old for me. I do not like cougars that are in their 65, 70-year-old range that will come after me. I'm just not into that, sir. So it's not.
Is there such a thing as a male cougar?
That's Peg and Megan's like the head of the male cougars, man. He just called up and just sexually harassed me on the air. I should get with those people from Florida that are going to bitch about the playoff. I have a grievance here.
Obviously, I struck a nerve, sir. I only said what everyone else was thinking. You know that. No, I have a question.
There's no one. Billy, Rob's gay? What the hell? No, sir. Rob is not gay. I said that obviously Peg and Megan enjoys gay gentlemen because the first comment that he makes is about hoping that I look more gay from the last show. That's where this went.
You just said Billy. Who are you referring to? Billy who?
Billy Cole in the chat. Try to keep up. So I know it's hard.
Billy Cole is still alive?
Yes.
Is he continent? Does he have all his faculties?
They're giving him some of that stuff they give Joe Biden, I think.
I mean, you just do the math. I figured he had passed away like 15 years ago. That guy's got some incredible genetics.
He is in his 90s, so that's
some incredible genetics. No, Jackpot, I had a serious question for you. Who else do you expect to, or at least have an inkling that is going to transfer off the South Carolina roster there?
I don't know, to be honest with you. The one defensive lineman, Tonka, was supposed to be one of the ones hitting the portal, and it's all out tonight that he's already put up that he's staying there. So other than that, I mean, I don't know. I mean, O'Donnell Fortune, a defensive back, I've heard something about he's probably leaving to go to Florida, which is like, okay. I mean, that would lead me to believe he's not a very intelligent individual anyway. Head to that shithole. But other than that, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've seen a long list of a bunch of different starters. Nick Harbor was one of the ones listed on there. They said will probably remain at South Carolina. This was all off of our message board stuff. The guy that runs it. So, but that was Friday. So I don't know if anything's changed.
Can you imagine being stupid enough to say, you know what, I'm going to clap my hands and I'm going to leave South Carolina and I'm going to go play for Sunbelt Billy? You have bad parents if you do that. They don't care about your well-being.
Yeah, that's called self-destructive behavior. That's suicidal tendency.
Well, I mean, that's really it's really a lateral move.
At best. I will say this on Dickless with a Y, Harbor. I'll be surprised if he's not wearing red and black next year.
Red and black? Do you think he's going to the Bulldogs?
I'm afraid so. That's what the rumor mill has started now. Yeah.
Why would he go there? He wouldn't play there. I'm being real here.
He would play there. He's that talented for sure.
Well, I mean, he needs to learn how to catch a football first.
Real talk. You know what our buddy Mike Muse, the first thing when you mentioned Nick Harbor, he goes, you realize that guy's cross-eyed, right? He's legitimately cross-eyed. He wonders if that affects his ability to go up and catch the ball. I don't know.
Well, the thing I don't understand about with him in high school, I mean, he was an edge rusher, and he's pretty damn good. I mean, you need good edge rushers. Why try to take a square peg and a round hole? I mean, why moving to a different side of the ball? I don't know.
I don't know if you remember Jackpot, but when he first came in, because he was so highly touted, but he played several positions, I actually said on your show the danger with a guy like that, because I've seen several of them at Georgia, particularly in the 90s, is trying to misplace that guy. Find a spot for him, stick to it, whatever's most natural, and let him run with it. I think you guys may have kind of played into that. Hey, he's better at this position. We think he can make him this. So does that make sense to you? Is that what you're saying, basically?
Yeah, I'm with you.
I saw several guys that just wasted their career at Georgia. Charles Grant, Richard Samuel at Georgia. And you guys probably don't know who those guys are, because they played out of position their entire time, and they were 5 stars coming in. And Dickless with a Y. Exactly. Dickless with a Y reminds me of those guys.
Did they play on the same team with Jasper Stanks?
Yes. Well, one of them did. Yeah. Charles Grant did.
Okay, I know who Jasper Stanks is.
Same type of deal with Jasper. Yeah. Not to be confused with Jasper and Casper, who played for you, Jackpot, your team.
Yeah, the Brinkleys.
Yeah. Oh, on behalf of all Georgia fans, I do want to apologize for Paula Dean, who called in bitching about Alabama. Look, we lost. We got beat by a better team. So it is what it is. I still think FSU should have been in there, but I'm not going to get into it. But you guys, hey, Rob, I look forward to opening day next year.
Yeah. I already got you guys winning by 10 points at least. So there.
Smart move. Adios.
Hey, you want to go ahead and place a wager with me and give me the 10 points? You that confident?
Not just yet.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll text you once they drop the first line, and then you can bet on Clemson if you want. That way you'll feel better.
You would need my number to do that, Rob, and I'm not confident that you're not going to send inappropriate text to another man, so I'm not going to give you my number to do that.
Fair enough.
Adios.
Have a good night. Joining the show here.
Alejandro says, can we get Jackpot to coach South Carolina next season? No, because I'll tell you why. In our history of coaches, the last one we had got fired. The one we have right now, he's working on it pretty well. The one before that just went insane, ran off and quit. And the one before that, I mean, they drove him into retirement after he watched a bunch of guys fight. So no, I don't want to do any of those things.
Well, I think we've had a great show, and we appreciate everybody checking us out. But yeah, man, we can look forward to the bowl games that no one cares about as we get ready for the playoffs and the transfer portal season hot tomorrow.
What do you think? What do you think about Dabo versus the human baked potato? That's going to be interesting.
Well, as I text my
kind of the human baked potato's first game back, because he was going to be the Texas A&M coach, so he's coming in with a 0-0 record. He's playing with house money.
I text our in-house reporter for the Kentucky Wildcats and Big Barney Ross, and I asked him about the Kentucky's chances. He goes, "That's awesome. Most of Kentucky's players have opted out already, so it's going to be the opt-out bowl." You know who said they're playing in the bowl though, Jackpot? I don't know if you caught this or not.
Yeah, Xavier Thomas.
Yeah, I mean, he's only been there for 8 years. Why not go to the bowl game too?
Well, hey, he wants to go out with a bang.
That'd be the last football he ever plays. So, congratulations to him.
Probably so. You don't think he can land a deal with a Canadian League team or something?
No. What's he gonna do in Canada? They sell Big Macs up there. He's screwed.
Yeah, true.
All right. Well, we'll have plenty of looks at these bowl games as they come along. I'm still looking for South Carolina on the bowl list. I mean, maybe they'll announce that tomorrow. I don't know.
Yeah, they probably will with the next.
Probably will. All right. With that, this show's a wrap.